What is Sensex, Nifty, and market weighted capitalization index? First, I'll tell you what is market capitalization. Market capitalization. So, the formula for market capitalization goes like this: price per share into number of shares outstanding, or number of shares floating in the market. Okay, number of shares outstanding. So, if the price of your share is, let's say, 50 rupees, and number of shares are something like 1 lakh shares, practically it will be in multiple millions, but I'm just taking one simple example. So 1 lakh shares into 5 lakhs, so um, so 50 lakhs is the market capitalization. So this tells the market value of the company. Okay, so long back in 1980s, when companies market capitalization concept was going on, people were buying and selling shares, but then they wanted to know overall how it is performing. So overall, so there were something like 1,000 plus companies. Imagine 1,000 plus companies uh, listed, and the market capitalization keeps going up and down daily based on the price per share. This is very sensitive. It keeps going up and down daily, right? So in order to know overall how the stocks are performing, your thought went on, like your research went on, like how do we know overall how the stocks are performing. Just like if your teacher is teaching something, they would like to know how the class has understood or not. So they tend to ask they tend to ask questions to few students, which is like a sample. They are taking sample, and then they are asking if to know the students have understood or not. Similarly, over here also they thought there is a need to know how all these companies overall performing. So overall, if we calculate all 1,000 plus companies, market capitalization, it will go in multiple $1 billion. So when it will go in multiple $1 billion, it is difficult to calculate on daily basis. Okay. So they thought, like, let's not take all 1,000 plus companies. Let's take only top 30 companies. So they took only top 30 companies and they formed an index. What do you mean by an index? Index as in it represents a group. In our school days we had index as the first page of the subject, so it will represent the constituents or what it consists of, group of chapters that we are going to learn in that book. So similarly here also a group of stocks. So top 30 stocks were taken. Now the logic over here is, if top 30, when I say top 30, again in terms of market capitalization, top 30 companies were taken. So the logic over here is, if top 30 companies are doing very well, all other companies should also be doing very well. Example, like if Tata Motor is doing well, then probably MRF tire or Seat tire should be doing very well. That's the logic. Okay, like in your class, if 2 3 students are answering the teacher's question, it means probably the entire class understood that logic. Okay, so but then the problem over here is, even for these 30 companies, because these are all top 30 companies, the market capitalization will go again in $1 billion. Okay, so how do we tackle this problem? So that's where they came up with another concept to give points to this index. So to give points. So how does this work? So they came up with the formula, like how do we measure index. The formula goes like this: new market capitalization divided by old market capitalization into base value. So what is this base value? Base value is this value, this points. Say for example, initially, let me take one simple example over here, like old market capitalization. Let's say when it was started, it is something like 10 lakhs. So practically it will go in $1 billion. I'm just taking one simple example here. So 10 lakhs. Okay, and this 10 lakhs were given some points. So 100. Okay, 100 points given. And new market capitalization, because the price went up, so the new market capitalization is, imagine it is 11 lakhs now. So now just see how it moves. So these all these gets cancelled. This is 10 times, so it becomes 110. So that means 100 has gone to 110 now. 100 has gone to 110. The next day, again the same. This is new market capitalization. This will become old next day. So 11 lakhs, and new market is next day. Imagine again the price goes to 12 lakhs into now base value. This one is 110. Okay, here this represents 110 here. So now if I calculate again, it comes to 120. So again the news will be like, this index has gone up from 110 to 120, 10 points up. Okay, so next day again this 12 lakhs will become old market capitalization, so it will go to the denominator. And let's say next day, imagine every day, market need not go up, it can come down also. So instead of 12 lakhs, it has come down to 11 lakhs again. So 11 lakhs into, so this 12 lakhs represents 120 points. So 120. So when I calculate this, it comes to 110. So again next day the headline will be like, this index has come down by 10 points to 110. So this is how it was all started. And you see this index now is very sensitive. Every day it keeps changing, now. So because it is very sensitive, they named this index as sensitive index. Okay, because it keeps changing daily, so they named this index as sensitive index, which was further shortened to sense and then x. This is how the name came up as sensex. Okay, so sensex stands for sensitive index, which keeps changing daily, and it represents certain points. And this is how it started its journey in 1980s with 100 points, then moving from 100 to 110, 120, 1000, 2000, 5000, 10,000, and now it is hovering somewhere around at 50,000. Okay, so this is about sensex. And after this, again further research, they thought, sensex is representing companies of multiple sectors, IT companies, banking, pharma, all sort of sectors. So they thought, if I want to um, know the performance of only certain group, let's say only bank, so they formed another index. They formed another index where only banks will be included. So similarly it was also formed, and it was named as BankX. Okay, bank index shortened to BankX. So similarly many other indices were formed, pharma. Okay, many other indices were formed. Okay, so this is about Sensex first part of the story. Then Nifty, why Nifty came into existence? Because those days, in Bombay Stock Exchange, it was all completely ruled by the brokers, and there used to be a lot of opaqueness. Opaqueness was there, wherein brokers, might not reveal the right price to the investors. If somebody wants to, buy, uh, and somebody wants to sell here, broker is in between, he might not reveal the right price, as it was not an online one. Okay, so in order to curb these manipulations in 19 somewhere in 1990s, okay, I think 94 something, 94 or 96 there, at that time, um, big financial institutions, they formed National Stock Exchange. So in this National Stock Exchange, they formed a group wherein they took top 50 companies. So the same 30 companies plus 20 more, because their research told that 50 companies can show a better result. And so in the same fashion, the same way they did this, they formed this index. And this index started with 1000 points somewhere in 1990s, around 94 or 96, with 1000 points. And then and it was because it is a mixture of 50 companies. So National Stock Exchanges, 50 companies, so it was named as Nifty. N stands for National Stock Exchange, and IFTY stands for 50. Nifty, National Stock Exchange, and 50 combined to Nifty. Okay. So this is how Nifty came into existence in order to bring everything online, to curb all these manipulations of the brokers. So Nifty came into existence, but now even Bombay Stock Exchange, everything is online. So right now there is no change as such. It's more or less same. You buy from Bombay Stock Exchange or you buy from National Stock Exchange. Okay, so this is about Nifty. And market capitalization index, I have told you over here. So how the index moves. All right. Thank you.